What's up, man? Want to talk about the different versions of self, and I talked about it in not my last video, but one of my other videos. Do you talk to versions of yourself? And it just was talking about how when you get upset, you have these different ideas that go through your head. From do you want to be physical? Do you want to be even more aggressive and be murderous, or do you want to just walk away? Do you just want to debate? Do you want to hug it out? Some people have the hug it out mentality when shit going, when shit about to get physical. Give me a hug. Come here. Give me a hug. That shit funny. Kevin Hart said, "Nigga stood up. Come on, hug it in. Bring it in. Bring it in." That shit funny. But the same thing when you're mad, happy, lustful. You all have different versions of self that choose to go about it a certain way, and it's typically brought up from the products of your environment. That's how you kind of create your different selves and the things that you absorb and how you take it in. Because I can say the things I ain't seen in the church, the things I ain't seen in different schools, the different things I ain't seen by the government. I could say that other people might not have seen it because they probably was reaping benefits of the government and our education system and our school system. And they go to the Bible where it say, let's get this out the way now, where when the second coming of Jesus come, he'll raise hell. And this is just example or whatever, but people that it's going to be hell for people that doesn't realize it now. And those are the people that are against God's children, because you're literally benefiting from God's children and nature and earth, and you're just prostituting everything of God at this moment. So you don't realize it's hell yet, but God's children should, and most of them are realizing it now. And that's who it's going to be hell for. So the second coming will save us, but it'll be hell for you because it's a new state of existence. And they're going to say, when they say the world going to end as we know it, because the people in control and the people at powers now are in a state of, control and happiness or whatever for them in a sense. Well, they might be in sorrow, or what is it when you're dreadful because it was coming, like they know it's coming. So they might not be so happy. Maybe 100, 200, maybe even 1,000 years ago, they might have been a little happier. But what I was saying, yeah, they just go to show that certain things that people go through, they haven't existed in this hell reality. And I really have, like, from my mom's relationships and the people she's dated, like, I don't like them, and I had to deal with certain things, like let's call it domestic abuse in a sense. Like, as a kid, I had to see that. There's a lot of things I had to see as a kid that a lot of people don't deal with. And I mean, a lot of people do deal with, but it's your job to transmute that energy and understand why you're sitting in these environment. Why are you a product of these environments? Like, you're supposed to go through these things, but for what? And these different versions of yourselves that come from these different situations of self, for me, I used to get into a lot of fights, and it wasn't even that I was like starting fights. I really defended myself a lot of the times, but I still get in trouble for defending myself. So it just was going to show, like, I just get picked out all the time. But it's like, the reason I said is because I had to go through like classes and shit for anger management and shit. But it's like, the shit I go through is my perspective on life. Like, I went through things that I had to deal with anger. I had to deal with people bullying me. Like, other people don't have to deal with people. Some people are the bullies, and that's why I don't expect everybody to understand me. Like, everybody not getting the same, not having to go through the same shit I walked through. Like, everybody ain't seen somebody get shot. Everybody ain't seen somebody get stabbed. And people that do see these horrible things, bro, you have to realize, why are you seeing this hell state? It's because you have to get out of here. And the people that is heaven on this realm, bro, you should be scared, because the main goal and everything that I've seen is leaving. From the Bible to Gnostics to the book of the Emerald Tablets to, I mean, I'm not Bobby Hemmett, but he could keep going on with the list of like, from Indian, like, bro, Buddha, like, everything is about transcending this reality that we're in now. So people that don't understand that, people that just love this in this reality, it means that they have a whole other sum of lessons they have to get to. But for people that's getting tired and people that's not achieving the shit that they want to achieve, it's because this reality is not for you. It's for other people to have, honestly. And the more you keep trying to achieve it, you're just going to create more hell for yourself. And you can say that, and it's a good case because I'm off topic. I'm gonna get back to it though. People literally have been voting their rights away for the past 100 to 200 years. So no matter how much you keep trying to change it, you're really just going to even more of it. But people that don't vote, they know this shit wrong. So But the reason I say, are you honing in yourselves? Because when you get mad and shit, you get mad at people, you get mad at jobs, you get mad at certain different things, and it stretches you out because you got this anger here, this anger here, this anger here. So you're putting anger in different places when it really should be going directly to one state of existence, which is getting out of this reality. Like, you might get mad at your job, so you try to find another job. You might get mad at your government, so you try to leave the country. You might get mad at what's other things black people do? Try to vote. That's like one of the first things people stop doing. But yes, bro, so many different things you can do. But the more you keep jumping around, you're literally playing hot potato with your cycles of life, because you're literally just jumping around and you're realizing things is not right for you, but you're not putting them all together. You're just being chaotic with the forms of anger. And anger, all emotions can help us get out of here, honestly, when you tame them and understand where they come from and the source of all of them. Like, the source of all of my anger is truly about stress. When I'm not stressed, I can almost laugh off anything. When I am at my most highest self, I can almost laugh off anything. And that goes to show that I'm not really mad at the people that's making me upset. I'm mad at the environment that's created me and the environment that's created them. And that's the true thing. Like, when you realize everybody's a product of an environment, you try to change the environment. But then you realize that the environment is supposed to be like this. They're supposed to be good. They're supposed to be evil. There's not supposed to be this one just thing, because you're supposed to learn from both, in a sense. And like I said, the two risings of the snake, I talk about that all the time. So many different stories, bro. It's just about good and evil. Yin and yang ain't just a black picture. It ain't just a white picture. It's both. It's good and evil. It's life and death. When you understand both, you elevate yourself, bro. You become this. Like I said, I don't know if I said this in this video, but I was like, I believe multiple versions of ourselves are having sex with our other selves. Like, and our higher selves are having sex with our lowest versions of ourselves, and that could be the story of the fallen angel. And when you have sex with the lower versions of yourself, you already have that higher version of self inside of that lower self that it created, in a sense, or whatever that those two selves created, is going to have automatically the DNA, or the genealogy of that higher self and the lower self too. But it has that God potential, and that's what we all have, in a sense of our whole story in the physical. People believe, but I'm sticking into the mental. What are other ways you could say? Well, yeah, when you focus all your anger, when you focus all of your emotions to leaving and elevating yourself into a state of reality, or to a state of existence where nothing can affect you, because you're automatically so defensive, you're so offensive, you can counterattack, you can do all these different things. Like right now, people might be good at one thing. They might be good at just offense. They might be good at just defense. They might just be Mayweather. They might just be one aspect of Tyson. But you can be Muhammad, you can be, like I said, Mayweather, you can be Roy Jones, you can be all these niggas combined. But let's use ourselves as a boxers. Like, each different version of yourself is one of those boxers I just named. And your whole job is to put all those boxers into one character, one person, or to create create different, or transmute different versions of them by having, I guess that's weird because I'm using all men, but just versions of self that you mix Floyd with Tyson, you mix that mixture with Ali, you mix that mixture with that, and you get all these different selves that are very different but very high versions of self. And they're not really, fucking with lower versions of selves. That's after you come to a certain part of mastery of self. Because, bro, if we really talking about journeys, like the first start of the journey was to get your higher selves and your lower selves to combine into the middle, maybe. And then you start making this army of selves type shit that makes you unstoppable. Because, you want to be multiple versions of self, but you want to have control. Because if you have control over all versions of self, that means you're really just one self. Like, just like with Loki or any other comic person, like, when they could project multiple versions of self, but they still had control, it's still just really one person in control then. And I know I just repeated myself, but it was something. I mean, there was only one way you could word it. But yeah, bro. I mean, I used the boxing and kind of got confused, but now when you start doing the alchemy and transmuting your lower selves and not separating them and trying to throw them away and delete them and really realize because you can't destroy them, remember, and you can't create. It's only transmuting. So that means really sex between your versions of self and the selves that you have. So that means you have to love your lower self, no matter how much you think it's a bad version of you. You still got to dig it down or push them guts back or whatever. I'm a dude, so that's how I look at it. I ain't trying to get my guts pushed back, but you still got to do that. You still got to do the work to get your higher self up. Because, I mean, bro, something created that lower version of self. And that's how you got to look at it. And it's already in there, so you got to do the work, bro. I mean, it wouldn't be no work to do if it wasn't no lower versions of you type shit. I mean, and that's the whole joke, because there always can be a higher version of you. You can always transmute to a higher version of you. You can always transmute to something else. So, yeah. Are we trying to, that's my next question. Are we trying to stop transmitting, period? Is that the elevation? Or to realize that we can transmute and transmute into more powerful things once we become, our higher versions of self? Do we want to stop the cycle or become the greatest version of the cycle? That's always my whole argument. Because you could definitely say, I mean, it ain't even a definitely, you can clearly see how it's a cycle. And you want to break the cycle. But if you break the cycle, how do you know that you're not? Like, because they say you, in the physical, that's how you feel emotions. That's how you feel all these different things. But, yeah, that's why I have to agree. You wouldn't really want to destroy the cycle, but you'll want to elevate it in a sense of, get rid of lower selves. So what would you do with this reality now? That's what I think. That's what popped up in my head. So I figured somebody had asked that. Because you don't want to destroy it, and you say you can't change it, so you want to transmute it, right? I mean, you can't create it, you can't destroy it, so you don't want to change it, you want to transmute it, right? And I say, no, that's not what you want to do. You want to leave. I might have figured something out. For the people that's deep, y'all know what I'm talking about, because, yeah, it's a little deep. But, we're not meant to, we're really told not to want to change this world. But if we bring ourselves here, that's the next thing. If you bring your higher version of self here, that's why I say it had to be some dramatic change for me to be happy. And it seems like it has to be a shift. It has to be a change. And this is just the illusion. That's why I would answer with that. This is just the illusion of self. So, yeah, you're really not changing earth, you're changing self. And once you change self, you really, either you'll be on, you wouldn't be in this reality no more. That's the whole elevation. I get it. Answered myself. I just deal with a cell phone video. Hopefully I understood that. But yeah, man. That's how I deal with myself. I talk to them. I communicate. I don't say one's wrong. I don't say necessarily one's right. We just talk until we figure it out, man. I don't necessarily talk out loud, but I be in my head a lot figuring shit out. And I mean, like I said, I probably made a video about saying that, but another perspective of myself wasn't truly understanding it. I had to come around a cycle of thoughts until I can get that perspective to understand it. So now we, like I said, all on one path. Like my lower versions of self, just like it's like a kid. Like I'm gonna have to spend more time with it. I'm gonna have to nurture it more because it's so lost. It's so low of self. Like like I said, I use the example of kids, bro. Like you can't just treat a kid like you treat an adult, even though you can treat some kids like adults, because some adults is it's a whole nother topic though. But yeah, man, your lower selves have to be nurtured, and you have to, like, your higher self will understand something with a snap of a finger like Thanos, but your lower self will have to cope and get through either if you're a woman, you might have to get through more emotions, and as a man, I might have to get through more logic, and whatever. It's like I said, I'm transmuting and I'm doing everything I can, because shining it away, bro, it's not going to get anywhere. So yeah, man, talk to yourselves, figure out your shit. And like I said, everybody not going to be on my path. Some people are in a heavenly state, and some people are not, bro. And like I said, you can't be too upset about it, because at one point I was in a heavenly state and I'm in this hellish state now. So cycle of life, I guess. Transmute higher. I'm out.